Well, he's looking mighty sharp.
Hey, what's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Cang Toys Breakhorn. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. Right up front here, we have a very nice, very psychedelic image there of Breakhorn. His name is Breakhorn. On this side, we have Breakhorn. On this side, we have more of Breakhorn up top. Trans Edge. We're just going to do this now because he's going to fall over anyway. And at the bottom here, we have the alt mode. On the back of the box, obligatory product shots, things, stuff, that, the other. Very shiny, very psychedelic. That's basically it for the packaging. Also included is not one but two cards. We got this card right here again. Very nice, shiny, psychedelic, gold border, very thick card. Trans Age on the back, and another lenticular card here with Breakhorn in his robot mode, in his alt mode. Very cool. And on the back there, a bunch of stuff that I cannot read. Hooray for cards. And one more thing to show off, we get a little lenticular poster here. Again with him in the midst of battle. Pretty cool. Hooray for lenticular posters. Then moving right along here, we have Breakhorn, and this is the next component of Cang Toys Volcanicus, and this is their take on Slag, or Slug, whatever you want to call him. I'm old school, so he'll always be Slag to me, but you call him what you want. Now, yes, I know I'm late reviewing this, but here's the thing. This set has been proving to be less and less fun as it goes, and yeah, it's continuing the trend. I've had this guy in Bronto Solid in my house for like a couple months already, and I've just been putting off the torture because I knew it was going to be torture, and I was right. Case in point, not only do I need a spudger to transform him, which is not that bad, but I also need pliers. Yes, we'll get to that in a bit. But anyway, here he is in his robot mode. He is packed in robot mode. It's a gorgeous looking robot mode, but let's get in close so we can take a look at the details. And there we have the noggin, a very nice head sculpt there. You got a little transparent red horn there on top of his head. Some nice silvers, nice golds. Eyes done in red. Very nicely done. Just a whole lot of spiky stuff all around him. This right here, this is actually kind of sharp. Be careful with that. This toy also wants to stab you repeatedly. Also, which makes it even more not fun. There's a lot of spiky, pointy bits on this guy. But some lovely details, some lovely paintwork. As always, you got the little tampograph details throughout. He looks fantastic. I will always give Cang Toys that. Their figures look amazing. Little go-toesies. Look the back. He does have a lot of junk hanging off of his back, like the whole dino tail, just kind of folded up there. Dino head, right back there. Again, lots of spiky stuff, little red transclearance blades going on there, as well as the horns. We'll look more at that in the Dino mode, but yeah, overall though, he looks quite good. Now, articulation-wise, what have we got? You shall be informed. So the head is on ball joints. You got your wiggly waggly. You can look up a little bit. He can look down. Head can rotate, can do a full 360. You can move the shoulder pads out of the way here. These can move forward and back. These have a couple of hinges as well to work with. But the arms can move out. That wasn't supposed to happen. Just on a ball joint there. Snap that back on so the arms move out. You do have rotation. On a ratchet joint, can do a full 360. You do have bicep rotation, double jointed elbow. Nice full range of movement there. You have wrist rotation. The hands can also move outward if you need them to. You got posable fingies here. The thumb is, oops, I'm just popping everything off of them. Thumb is on a ball joint, as you can clearly see there. It's on a hinge that can move up and down. Ball joint there, hinge there. And each of the fingers is on a ball joint at the base. And it's a single hinge right there. It's kind of mid-knuckle. You do have waist rotation. You got an ab crunch in here as well. Although it's quite tight, but there is an ab crunch there. We'll talk more about tightness in a bit. You got the little hip skirts here. We can move out of the way. Legs. Can move forward that far. Back. About that far before stuff starts to get in the way. outward. You can do pretty much the full splits. You got thigh rotation. You have 90 degrees of bend there at the knee. As far as the feet, they can move up, they can move down. You do have rotation, but that joint is super tight. The toes themselves can move up and down. They're on multiple hinges. And the heel can also move up and down. And you have your ankle tilted. Now, as far as accessories go, we get the combined mode hand, a little spider hand. We'll talk more about that in a bit. We get some weaponry. We get two of these kind of sword slash blasters here. You can see there is a barrel in there. And we got 4 nice transparent blades. And again, some nice coloration, some nice little tamper-graphed details. You can bring the handle down. You can hold it as a gun, hold it as a sword. You can do what you want there. You get 2 of those. You also get a little like Wolverine claw deal going on. Yeah. Looks pretty cool. And you also get 4 of these little transparent armatures, and I'll show off what these are for in a bit. And that is everything you get there with Breakhorn. Now, as far as these claws go, just a simple case of taking these, plugging these onto the form, so you can have that going on. And you have a couple options for what you want to do with these swords. Again, you can hold them as swords, bring the handle down, you can hold it as a gun, or these two can link together like so, and you can give them this big double-bladed deal going on, and you can wield that as well. Now, each of these blades on his back are removable, and they have a little handle here, so you can hold these as individual weapons as well. But what you can do with these also is you bring in these armatures here, and these can slide on to these armatures, and then these will slide into this slot right here. Get the orientation right. Come on, there we go. Slide in like that. And you can totally arm him up and have him firing all of the spikage. Now with Breakhorn, we do get the other combined mode hand here, and we can combine it with the other hand, and we can make us the full spider here. So what you need to do is you have this little locking point here. You want to bring this out to the side so we can tilt this down, and then once we get to kind of the halfway point, you want to take this and rotate this back, because this is going to end up tabbing in right there. And then you just kind of straighten this out and just kind of bring this. You need to rotate this. Tight joints everywhere. Take this and just bring the thumb up and over like that. And then you just take the fingers here and you just splay them out like so. And we bring in the other spider. And what's going to happen here is you have a tab that will go into a slot right up here. And everything else will just kind of drop into place. Oh, I did something wrong here. You have to bring this up. You have to shift this over to the other side. That's what we need to do. There we go. Now things are being done properly. And we just drop this down like so. And this bit will just drop right in here. And then this bit will just kind of tuck in right under his chin. And you just get the thumbs kind of tucked back there. And there you have the full-on spider. That's pretty cool. I mean, it makes use of the combined mode hands in a pretty clever way. So, hey, kudos on that. So there you have that. And now for comparison. Here he is with MP44. And here he is with the other two, so you can see how the team is shaping up. And if you'd like a measurement to the top of his little head horn there, he comes in at about 10 inches tall. So there you go. So that is basically it for the robot mode. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's. All right, so let's begin with the fun. And I use that term loosely. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the form. And you want to make sure the hand is balled up like that with the thumb up top. And you're going to take the hand, just flip that in, close that up, bring the dino foot out, rotate it, and splay out his little toesies. And then you want to come here to the shoulder, you see this red section here, and just rotate this to the back. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now we want to undo the chest. You can flip this out, flip this out. You want to undo the belly plate as well. So pull all this out as far as it'll let you pull it out for now. Because now we need to extend the body, which is very hard to do. Again, everything is super tight on this figure, and I don't know why. And things are falling off of him. That's fine. Oh, there we go. Extend that out. So the deal here is there are two slots rather, behind this belly plate here. Right now you want to tab it into the upper one. So just slide this down, and actually before we do that, we gotta tuck the head in. And you want to bring the horn back, and then tuck the head into the body. There we go. So now we want to get this situated. So again, just get this into place, and tab that in, and get that all seated in place. And you want it looking like that. All right, so now we're gonna start getting the back situated here. So these sections here, you just want to take, and you want to rotate them around. Swing them down like that. Swing it down. It's not a big ball joint, so it'll move for you. This little panel, if it was down, you just want to bring that up. These two sections here will just link together. Like that. And then you can just kind of angle this up however you want. That doesn't like to stay together either. Then you can just kind of bring the horns up. Now, me personally, the head's on a big ball joint. I pop it off just to make my life easier. If you're scared, oh my God, you're going to break everything now, everything's going to stop working, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to do this. I'm doing this to make my life easier. You don't have to do this. But I'm taking this off. All right, so now we're going to take all this. We're going to raise this up. We're going to take these sections here and rotate them around. And these little panels here you're going to flip out. And what we're going to do here is we're going to bring this back. This will come down. These sections will just kind of tuck in right here. And what's going to happen here is you have these tabs are going to go into these slots right there. Now, this hinge on mine is super tight. A lot of the super tight joints on this hinge. So we'll try to make this work. But you want that sitting there. Bring that back and just kind of get all this angled down. There it is. That's how you want that looking there. This hinge right here, super tight. That makes no sense. But anyway, there we go. We can move on now. So now you're going to take this whole tail assembly here, just unfold all this, multiple hinges here. Just unfold all this and get that spread out. This section here is just going to swing in, and it will tab in to one another to make the tail. And again, we got tight hinges here to work with. I want to bend them down at this top hinge here. There we go. And that should, there we go. Get that sitting just like that. And then you can take these two sections and bring them together. You have two little panels right up here. You want to flip those out. There we go. So you just want to leave that hanging out like that for now. So now for these shoulder pads, you just want to swing them back. You have these panels here on either side that you want to flip in. Flip that in. There's one on each side here. So flip that in. You just want to bring this up. You want to take this section here, and it's on a double hinge. Just want to take it and shift this. This likes to fall off too. Shift this inward like that. Pop this back on. There we go. And now all of this is just going to shift in on those hinges. And just sit there like that. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. And there you have both halves done. And once that's done, you can just take the two halves and just tab them together right there. There we go. And now moving down to these hip skirt panels. They're on a hinge here that allows you to kind of angle them up. There is a panel in here that you want to take and just swing all the way out. Just swing it up and over. like that. And then you can take all this and just rotate it 180 like that. And just kind of leave it hanging out like that. Do the same on the other side. Okay, so now it's time for the really fun part. Which is the legs. So, open these up. You can take this little crotch piece here, just kind of bring that down, get that out of the way. Now we're going to take this bit here and just untab it and just bring that up. We're going to untab this bit here, bring that out and untab this, swing this up, and just take this now and swing this to the other side. We're going to come along to this side, and it does tab in here as well. So untab that, and that will allow you to take all this and just kind of swing all this up and get it out of your way conceivably. There we go. Like that. So once you have done that, we're going to take all this and we're going to swing all this up. There's multiple hinges here, multiple squeaky hinges. So bring this up, and then this part of the leg is just going to swing around to the other side like that. At this point, we're going to close this back up and we're going to swing this down. So it's basically sitting right over this armature like that. So it's sitting flush with that armature. So now what needs to happen is we're going to bend the knee. We're going to bend it at this hinge here. And what's going to end up happening is that these two tabs are going to end up in these slots right here. So just take it, just start bending it up. And this hinge you will have to actually kind of like pull out because it will probably not want to cooperate with you. And make sure things are out of your way because there's a lot in your way. There we go. And that side dropped in. And if we're lucky, the other side dropped in. There we go. Hey, it actually cooperated. All right. So we got that. So now we need to take the leg and we need to just rotate it down. And this is usually where the pliers come in because I usually have to like hold this section with the pliers so I can bend the leg down because this, so I can fold the leg down or rotate it because it's stupid tight. And I think it's loosened up a smidge to where I can actually turn it. So that's a bonus, but it's very tight. But anyway, just get it like that. We're not done yet. We're going to take this section here and just kind of swing this back, up and over. We're going to open up the shin now. Open this up, and this will just extend down on a double hinge. And you just take that and close that back up. You're going to take this heel and just kind of bring it up. Spay out the little toesies if you want. And just kind of bring that back. There we go. And we got that side done. Second verse, just like the first. All right, so we got the other side done, and on this side I do need the pliers because this joint is still like stupid tight. I have a silicone lubricant that I could probably put a couple drops in here, and that should hopefully help, but that's ridiculously tight. But anyway, once you have the two halves done, you can take them and tab them together. With that, you can just kind of bring these down for now. Another thing we want to do here for the underbelly is just take this. We want to rotate this 180, and this will tab in right up here. So just take that and tab that in. And I'll leave that like that for now. All right, so now we're going to get this whole tail assembly in place here. So you want to bring this base hinge forward and then collapse this back. And you have little tab slot connections that are going to happen back here. So you get everything lined up. This is not a super critical connection point, but you still get these in place. And the tail is going to come down, and it's going to tab into this section right here. So get that lined up. And just get that pushed in. And you also have little tab slot connections that happen right here on these sections, so you can just bring that down. So now we're going to take these panels here and are going to go over this tab. So make sure it tucks behind this bit here. Just get that lined up and just tab that in like that. And come to the underside. It's going to tab in, tab slot connection right there. So just line that up and get that tabbed in like that. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so if you've survived this long, we're pretty much at the home stretch. So what we have to do now is get this situated so we have little tabs here in the middle that are going to go into slots right at the ends of these gold pieces, and these bits are going to sit over these tabs right here. So bring all this back. Hopefully that will work with you. This drops down. This drops down. There we go. That cooperated. Now I'm going to pop his head back on. And thank God, here we have Breakhorn in his alt mode. And it does look great when it's all put together, but man, I wish that process was more enjoyable. And here we have the noggin. It's a beautiful noggin. It's a nice gold in there, that transparent red for the horns. Looks real good. And everything else we've pretty much seen already. Got little gold toesies there. Good. Well, it comes together nicely. I just wish this was more fun. But it's a whole lot of knots. You got that transparent red there on the tail as well. Yeah, looks real good. There is the top. There is the bottom. He slides like dinos slide. Hooray for sliding dinos. And for comparison, here he is with 86 Slag. Just so you can get a sense there of the size of him. Now, I'm going to make an executive decision here because I don't want to transform these guys any more than I have to. So we're going to save the Dino mode comparison until the very end. When I have all of the members, then we'll do a nice, beautiful family photo of all of them in their Dino modes. But for now, I really don't want to transform them more than I have to. So that's just the way it's going to be. But since we have his little spider buddy here, here he is with his little spider buddy. So you can at least see how that looks. So there you go. And if you'd like a measurements from end to end, we are looking at about 16 inches long. Now, as far as the weaponry goes, we can store this stuff on him. Now, for the claws, we're just going to take the claws and rotate them and just bring them up and over. And then we're going to take the swords here, and they're going to plug into either side. Like that. And thusly. And then we just bring them forward, and this post will plug in to a port on the top of his back, like so. And now we can have some big old cannons on him. Yay, things you can do if you want to do it. Now, articulation-wise, in Dino mode, what have we got? I'm going to tell you. So the head's on the ball joint. You got your wiggly waggly. You can also kind of move it up and down there. I don't know if it's supposed to, but, you know, you can move it. The mouth can open and close. Of course, all these you can splay out however much or little as you want. These horns are also on a hinge. You kind of have these tipped up or down if you want. The front legs, same articulation as they were in robot mode. Now bear in mind, if you want to do any outward movement, you have to kind of shift these forward. Because if you don't do that, then you'll pop these off, as I just did. So you don't want to do that. So if you want outward movement, move these. And of course you have a rotation, double joint there. The feeties are on a ball joint, so you have rotation, tiltage, all that good stuff. You can splay the little toesies out, bring them in, do whatever you want there. The hind legs, super tight joints. I'm not gonna, they move. So the tail, ball joint here, so you can get up, down, a little bit of side to side, and that is pretty much it. So that is it for the Dino mode. So let's get down to transformation again. God help me. All right, so first thing we're going to do, again, I'm going to pop off his head again, because again, just makes my life easier. So now we just need to start undoing all of this. We just need to undo all this stuff here. Just raise this up, just start untabbing stuff, undoing stuff, and get all this freed up, get all that freed up. Let's get this up and out of the way. So once we've done that, we're going to just split the legs, and we have a lot of work to do here with the legs. We'll do this side since this joint is a little bit more cooperative. So what we're going to do, we're basically pretty much going back into robot mode for the legs here. So we just need to just kind of work things around here so we have room. And we need to untab these side panels here. Untab all this stuff so we can take this Straighten this back out. Rotate these super tight joints. There we go. Rotate that out. Get all this as freed up as we can so we can open this up. We're going to take this, we're going to swing this out to the other side. And again, we're pretty much going back into robot mode here. So collapse this little piece back up. We're going to rotate the leg and then rotate all of this back in. Oh, also you want to make sure that this ball here is an opening there. Make sure the opening is on the side of the hinge, so everything can tuck in like it's supposed to, and just get that straightened out. Once that is done, we need to work with this tight hinge, because we need to take the leg and we need to bend it up. So again, just try to find a good vantage point here. You can kind of use this as leverage. It helps get that pushed up. You don't want this to collapse, but you just kind of want to get that pushed up as far as it'll go. So once you have that done, we can now bring all this back down and get all this tab back in. So that's just going to tab right back in right here. Close that up. And on this side, again, just get everything situated here. So this side will tab in. There we go. Like that. And once that's done, you're going to take this section. It's going to sit over this tab right here. So just line it up and just pop that in. Just a little bit here. You can just bring that back. And now we're going to work on the feeties here. So we can just kind of bring the heel and toe up. You want to rotate the foot around. And this is super tight. My God. Bring that around. And then you want to take the section with the toes and rotate that around. And just leave that like that for now. And also you want to take this bit here. Just kind of want to rotate this back like so. There we go. And we have that side pretty much done. Second verse, just like the first. So now what we need to do is we need to shift the hips down. So just bring them back, bring that forward, rotate it down. They can rotate the leg back to its original position. And now you can see how that drops the hip there. So just do the same thing on the other side. Just bring it forward, down, just rotate all this around, shake it all about, and all that good stuff. And there you have the hips now in their lowered position. You can take the crotch section now, this little bit here, and just collapse that back up. And at this point now we can take the legs and just tab them back together. The crotch plate here you can take and just bring it back down to where it was. These side panels as well, you can also take them and rotate them back down. Just bring them back in, rotate them down, and bring them back in. And then you want to take the tail and just open this back up, open this back up. These little panels here, you want to flip these back in. So now we have some more according to do. So bring this hinge back and collapse this up like this now. You're going to take the tip of the tail here and you're just going to bring that back. Tab slot connection right here for this. So just get that lined up and tabbed in. So what's going to happen here is that now these tabs are going to go into these slots right here on the sides. So that is a case of just lining that up and tabbing that in, lining that up, and getting that tabbed in like that. And once that's done, these sections right here, you have a tab that's going to go into that slot right up there. So you bring that down and that will tab in to either side like that. So you're going to take the feet, you're going to bring them down, and there's a tab right here. It's going to go into a slot right here in that middle toe. Bring that down, line that up, All right, so now that that bit of loveliness is over, we can move on to the upper body. So we can take all this and split it. We can see how many times this comes apart on us. But straighten out these hinges here. You want to take this section and just shift this back in to the middle. You have those little panels in here that you will probably need a tool. You know what? These pop out anyway, so let's just make life easier. Let's just turn a negative into a positive here. There we go. Flip these out. There we go. Just bring that out to the side like that. Same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we're going to undo this neck piece here. Gonna bring that back. Gonna take these sections here. Going to rotate these panels up and just kind of straighten all this out so we can rotate these panels around like this. And then we're going to take this section here. We're going to fold this up so it's sitting like that. Bring this back, and now we have two tabs that are going to go into these two slots here. And again, this is kind of a tricky connection because the chest wants to move also. And actually, before we do that, another thing we need to do. We need to extend the body further. So we need to undo the belly panel here. And that time it just dropped. So now you want to tab this into that lower tab behind the belly plate. So you should be able to just feel it out and just tab it in so it's sitting right there. So you can see now you have that seam visible. So now you can bring this back, and now we have the unenviable task of trying to make this connection work. This stupid tight hinge. Anyway, get that lined up and get that plugged in. I think it did. Hooray! Alrighty. So I just want to take these and just kind of bring them up. And you got it looking like that. So now for the arms, we're going to take the little shoulder piece here. We'll just rotate that back to the front. Oop, that popped off. It's love to pop off now for some reason. And we're going to take the arm, rotate it 180 at the bicep, and we're going to fold the arm up, and we have a tab that's going to go into this slot right here. Just fold that up and tab that in. Take this foot and just bring that back, rotate it, and just have that sitting flush against the forearm. And then you want to bring this shoulder pad as far forward as it'll go. The instructions want you to bring this down to like 90 degrees, but it doesn't go that far because the chest piece gets in the way. So I don't know what's supposed to happen there, but okay. But the arms, we can rotate to 90 degrees, and then we can just kind of bring this again as forward as we can. And this just kind of sits over the arm, looking like that. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And there we go. We have both sides ready to go. All right, so now it's time to bring in the hands. So what's going to happen here, just open this all the way up, and you have a track right here. It's going to go into this track right here. And sometimes this cooperates, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see what happens this time around. Let's see. It should. There we go. Hey, we got it. All right. So we got that up, and then you just want to bring this up here, and this is going to end up tabbing into this slot right here. Just tab that in, and then these square panels are going to tab in right here on either side. So just get that tabbed in, get that tabbed in, like that. And there we go. There we have Breakhorn in his combined mode. It's a big old arm. You got the elbow joint right here, as usual, very tight. And then you just kind of want to rotate this top section here, which again, very tight. Everything's so tight. There we go. That's basically how you want that oriented. It's a big old arm. Hooray! I'm done with this thing. Bye. So there you have Breakhorn, and my God, here's the thing. I loved their Predacons. I love that set so much. That set was so good. Their Razor Claw, kind of iffy, but it was still, it was, overall, that set was great in my opinion. But man, these Dinobots, I feel like Cang Toys have forgotten everything they've learned. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like this set is taking a step back, and they're just turning into, most other third-party companies that are just like, well, It transforms. You're not going to enjoy it. It's not going to be any fun. It's not going to work the way it should, but hey, it transforms. You know, it feels like a big step backwards. Especially when their Predacons were so promising and it seemed like, oh, okay, this company knows what they're doing, but it just, again, just feels like they've just forgotten everything they've learned. This is supposed to be fun. And I don't know why this is such a hard concept for most third-party companies to understand. This is supposed to be fun. And just to clarify, I'm complaining about the engineering, but I'm not complaining about the number of steps. I don't care how many steps it has. It could have 1,000,000 steps. I'm complaining about the quality of the engineering. Like a well-engineered figure should work smoothly, fluidly. It should work with you, not against you. You shouldn't have to fight it. And while the engineering is good to an extent, I mean, everything goes where it needs to go. Everything, sits where it needs to sit in the end. But it's the quality of the engineering. It's just like you have to fight everything to get it where it needs to go. So good engineering, but bad quality engineering, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But hey, it is what it is. Again, I have Bronto Solid, so we'll take a look at him, and hopefully, maybe he'll be a bit more enjoyable to mess with. But for now, yeah, Breakhorn, he is what he is, and that's a whole lot of not fun. But oh well. They can't all be winners, but anyway, there you go. Now, I picked this up from TF Safari. I'll put a link to their site in the description down below so you can check that out. You can also check out the Volcanicus playlist for any reviews you may have missed, also linked in the description down below so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the Cang Toys Breakhorn, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be a geek, be proud, palm in your face. Hey, Slag, you're looking extra spiky. What's your secret? New beryllium bologna diet. That sounds, salty, but, I'll try it. Can't handle it. What? I can't handle it? That's a bunch of baloney. You see what I did there? Slag, he's gone.